United for these fantastic deals on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. We have got footballers that used to be good but aren't anymore. Look at this. One, Andy Carroll. What do we want for him? Not the £30 million he was once worth. Oh no, not even the £17 million that we bought him for. No folks, in fact, we will pay you to take him away. That's right folks, we'll pay part of his wages if you take Andy Carroll away. But it's not just strikers we got. No, we got midfielders. Yes, we have got Check-Q-Day Lights. That's like the full Check-Q-Day, but without any embryo to his game. Don't forget, there are other players that have ruined their careers for him. We got, I can't believe it's not Aaron Creswell. That's right, used to be good. Remember him, but now half the player he was. You come down and you can get him on a fantastic special offer deal this week at West Ham United. You got it, and you come down here and you pick up a player. We've been ruining careers and dashing hopes for years. That's West Ham United, folks. See you soon. Hi gang, it's Mike here. Welcome to Mike on Monday. Let's see what's been happening at West Ham this week. Let's go. Well folks, this was the week that's just happened, and now let's see what happened this week, because it just happened, it was this week, you've got the idea. So, what happened this week? Well, Tuesday there was all sorts of fallout from some West Ham fans who had called a prank and were ringing up the police in Essex to complain about the criminal performance of West Ham's team, and the police got all upset about that because they can't take a joke, and hey, they had no miners to beat up anymore. So you know what, they moaned about it and put a tweet out about it, and now West Ham's have started taken to calling up fire brigades in an attempt to get their team rescued from the deep hole they've now dug themselves into. Well folk, on Wednesday there was the continued fallout from Andy Carroll's ridiculous comment and moaning about West Ham fans leaving early after the game, as many West Ham fans suggested that Andy Carroll in fact decided to leave early, January preferably, and leave the club because he has been utter pants this season, hasn't he? On Thursday, David Moyes put out a real call for unity and for the team and for the supporters to combine together in love, peace, harmony and everything else, crumbly cupcakes and whatever else they can find to combine with, and just come as one loving whole mass. And this was because there were threats of protests and all sorts of other stuff going on about the board and about the team and about popcorn being sold in the stadium and weak beer and all numerous other things, and yeah, it worked. I mean, I was at the game and there was terrific unity, unbelievable support on Friday when the game rocked up, and it looked like this. Yeah, folks, see, that is not a team divided at all. Well done, West Ham fans. I was proud to be there. I was proud to be there singing in a very, very cold way. Christ, it was cold on Friday, wasn't it? So, yeah, the game rocked around, and what happened in the game? Well, I'm a bit shocked, really, because we were told, look, folks, look, come on, go around. We were told, yeah, we were told that, you know, Moyes was a little bit of an old school, pragmatic manager, and what we really got was some actual football. Do you know, it was about a 15-minute period in each half, but I actually quite enjoyed watching the game. At no point did we actually play hoofball. Do you know what I mean? At no point were we pumping the ball on like we were to Andy Carroll, like we were under Bilic. We were trying to get the ball wide. Now, I know Moyes is obsessed with crosses. I know that. And they like to go, oh, crossball, crossball, crossball. But the way we're getting the ball into crossing positions is by trying to play football. Unfortunately, we allowed them to cross the ball, and they went 1-0 up. And then, when the game's been covered elsewhere, I'm not going to go into mass details about the actual who did what when. It finished 1-1. I'd rather we'd won. I feared we'd lose. But I've got to be honest with you, I actually thought the performance was pretty good. Well, let's put it into some sort of context. It was good for us. But lots of weird things happened during the game, and I know what we should do really at this point is have a look at our theme for this week, which is to have a look at how the tactics evolved in that game and how they're different from under Slav already, obviously, under Moyes, and how that's going to affect us going forward. So to do that, let's head over and look at the to the Tactics Centre and have a look in detail at those tactics. Hi gang, welcome to the Tactics Centre here on Mike on Monday. Let's have a look at how last week's tactics that Moyes employed against Leicester compare to most of the stuff Moyes Bilic was doing for us when he was in charge. Right now. So this would be familiar to anyone who watched West Ham under Moyes Bilic. What we've got here is a player with the ball, everyone else running away in the opposite direction because they don't want the ball. This would result in us catapulting the ball forward, and here comes the catapult to do such a thing to Andy Carroll. Obviously this is how Carroll views himself on the pitch, some sort of fighting gladiator, while in actual fact in footballing terms this would be a more accurate representation falling over there for you. We then play the ball long like that to Carroll and he would then give the ball away. Let's have a look at how we played last Friday against Leicester. And by contrast, here we are against Leicester. Now you can see over here we've got Checo Chiarti, who ran around and ran around and ran around to no great effect whatsoever. Okay, he scored a goal, that was more by luck than judgment. But he really does cover the pitch in every direction while actually not really achieving anything. Now here we've got our main ball player, Manuel Lanzini. He likes to play the ball forward and get forward when he can. Some very interesting stats if you compare and contrast this season with the Opta stats compared to Andy Carroll. And here's Andy Carroll here for you. And Lanzini there, one of the league leaders in being mistaken for a mascot. He's very, very good at that. And of course his tattoo coverage is excellent. Again, certainly one of the best in our team. Andy Carroll, by contrast, if we have a look at his Opta stats, is league leader in pointing at other players like when he makes a mistake like it's their fault. He really does excel at that. He's good at elbowing people, giving his son a silly name, and beard growing as well. But really where he comes to his very own is his pointless runs to dismal parts of the pitch where he'll run off and achieve nothing. So well done for that, Andy. And now here is some very, very good things I'd like to see happen in the future. What I'd like to see is some passes being played in the horizontal zone forward into the silly mid-wicket position, and perhaps some other players running around some more. There you go. That's sort of the in-depth tactical analysis that we like to give here on Mike on Monday. I hope you've enjoyed that. And now back to the studio, which is that way. Thanks Tactics Centre for that. Back to the studio here. Well, what can I say? Thanks so much for all the questions and all the comments and all the nice things people have been saying about the show. Also, big hi to all the people that said hello to me at the Leicester game. It's really lovely. Just keep coming up and speaking to me if you see me. You know, it's really, really great to meet you all. I'm really glad people are enjoying the show. And if you don't like the show, tough. We've got, and thanks for your questions. We have people tweeting me. You can see I'm available on Twitter at WHU Mike. And you can comment below if you've got any questions for me. And I've got a few questions here, which are pretty great questions, which I'd like to go through in our brilliant Ask Mike Anything question bit. Here it comes. Yeah, and it's just me here again. So here we go. Phil Goodfellow, great question is, what's my favourite West Ham kit? Right. Well, I'm a bit of a retro guy. I'm a bit of a traditionalist when it comes to football shirts. So I think my favourite one is the 60s sky blue shirt with the two hoops. You know that one? Or should I say this one? This is definitely one of my all-time favourite ones. I don't quite fit in this these days, but hey, that's called getting old for you. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that one in answer to your question. But I also really like this Dr. Martens one. That's a feeler one. It's not like a retro one, it's a vintage one. There's the difference between retro and vintage. This is the real thing. From back then, I always thought this was a classic West Ham shirt as well. And there you go. Also, there's this one. I'm a big fan of this one. I hated the team that wore it. It was Allardyce's team. But what a great shirt this was. There you go. And not sponsored by a betting company. Actually it is, but by business betting, and they went bankrupt, so all the better for it. So there you go. There's some of my favourite shirts, but there is of course always this one. Which one? This one. There you go, which has got my size on the front of it, thanks for that, XL. but quite a good shirt anyway. I like anything claret and blue. It's traditional claret and blue. And then of course there's the last season at the Bowling Ground one, which is a classic shirt for me anyway. I think probably the best one in the last 10 years, this. I don't wear these because I don't like Betway sponsor. I don't really like betting companies, and I understand they're cool if you do, and absolutely, it's just my own personal thing. I totally get that they exist and everything, and you know, it's just my thing. I wasn't going to buy this shirt, except for the fact that, you know, I wanted it. I decided after the season ended to buy it as a souvenir, and it got to around Christmas time the following season, and they had some. I saw some really well-priced ones, and I thought, gee, I'm just going to buy it as a souvenir for the season. And so I bought it online. In the week between me ordering this shirt and it coming, Dimitri Payet went on strike and refused to play for us again, making the great West Ham pariah. Which is a shame, because I bought this because I really loved Payet that season. Leaving me with, what the hell am I supposed to do with this shirt with Payet? Look, it's still got the tag on it because there was no way I was ever going to wear it. And with Payet, thanks Dimitri, what a waste of money that shirt was. Great, so thanks for that question, Phil. I hope that's answered it. It hasn't really, because I've just more or less pulled up half the shirts we've worn in the last 50 years, but never mind. Next question it's from Kelsey Hammer. Thanks for this, who got hold of me via Twitter and said, what do I think of the Real West Ham fan group, which has started off? And now, there's been a bit of controversy about this, I'm fully aware of it. Now, here's the thing. I wrote an article for Claret & Hugh last week about stadium atmosphere and people shouting abuse at the board in games, and I said basically, don't do that when the game's on, do it outside the ground if you want to, or better still, join other groups, etc., and protest groups, and if you club together you'll get an official voice. And Real West Ham fan group have exactly done that. Brilliant. That's exactly what we want to see. We want to see people getting organised, and we want to see people doing stuff where they, because if you club together, and there's like 7,000 people now have gone on the Facebook page and joined that, and I wouldn't recommend doing it yourself. I haven't done it yet, but I will this week. And I think it's a really good thing. You get a voice if you get together. There's been a bit of a spat between them and Claret & Hugh over possibly the worst headline ever written on Claret & Hugh. It really was dumb in the extreme, but hey, never mind. Claret & Hugh's still a great site, and I think what they're trying to do is really good as well. I think it's a really positive thing if it's going to be, and it really does appear that they're trying to make this a positive thing. I want to know what the board's doing. I've got five big questions I want to ask them, and I'll salute them. Go for it, guys, and I'm right behind you. Next thing is Iron Lady 123. Asked who does the intro music to my show. Look at the guitars behind me, should give you a clue. A friend of mine does. No, I do it. And I do bits of it. I do the intro music and a couple of the incidental bits, and sometimes he uses other bits of stuff that I find lying around. So hope that answers that. Hope you like it. If you don't, most people don't, so never mind. Now, another last thing. This is from Joshua 5000. There are more than 5,000 Joshuas, so you must have got there quickly, Joshua. And he said, I live in Catford, Lewisham isn't that bad. Now, this is because I've got an ongoing feud with Lewisham, a place I dislike, I'm from, and dislike intensely. If you've seen other shows, you'll know about this. What can I say about Lewisham? I think his exact words, it's not like civilization has broken down in Lewisham. Right, here's my answer to that. If civilization did break down in Lewisham, no one would notice. Now, if you're at home in Lewisham, you open the window, open the curtains of the window, and you see someone walking down the street with a machete in their hand, you're not going to think, oh, civilization's broken down. You're going to think there's a sale on at JD Sports. Do you know what I mean? That's how you're going to look at it. I'm not saying that Lewisham is the most dangerous place on earth to live, but it's like, it is. Actually, no. The most dangerous place on earth right now is, of course, the top deck of a London night bus. There is no law and order on there. There is no civilization whatsoever. If you've ever been on the top deck of a London night bus, it's hell's teeth. If you've not, just imagine a small mobile piece of Croydon just travelling around and around. Anyway, so I hope that answers your questions. It's quite a brief show this week because there is loads going on during the week this week, so we've got loads and loads to do. So tomorrow night I'm going to Wickham. We're going to go and watch the under-23s play there, and on Wednesday night we're playing Everton. I can't make that game, I'm afraid, because I've got kids and I'm not allowed to go that far. I'm shackled by a piece of elastic to this house, and but come on you Irons. Now Everton obviously are in probably an even bigger mess than we are. At least we've got a manager now, albeit their old one. Everton, while they're above us in the league, are really up the creek without a paddle, and they really need to get their act together. And it's a shame because I've got a bit of a thing. I quite like Everton in a way, even though they always beat us and we've got really bad history against them. I like the sports. The sports are great. They're always good fun when they come to the stadium. I'm like the other Scousers who were fine in the last game but have been notoriously horrible before. And but yeah, so I hope they sort that out, but not until after Wednesday. And then we've got a very winnable away game the weekend on Sunday against Manchester City. We have no chance of getting anything out of that game whatsoever. So watch us do it, because this is the sort of thing West Ham do. And I'll be back on Monday with the next Smoke on Monday. Now, if you enjoyed this show, please do hit the thumbs up, likey thing. If you've not done, please feel free to leave comments. But remember to subscribe, not just to this channel, the forum channel, but to the Hammers Chat main channel. And keep supporting West Ham, people. Keep the faith, keep going, because you, beautiful West Ham fans, you're what keep me going on dark nights of loneliness and despair. And what else can I say other than come on you Irons.